Hey man, what it is? This is Dean, and I am your host, and this is By Any Means. There go to Cash App, $ Dean by any means. There go to PayPal at Dean by any means. Y'all already know the super chat. You can press that at any time your heart desires. Please say it with me, y'all. I don't care if you leave $1, $10, $1,000. It is much, much, much appreciated, y'all. Hey, y'all, Canelo Alvarez then sat up there and exposed Terence Crawford, and Terence Crawford exposed his own resume. Let's get straight to it. Clearly now everybody's re-talking about something that we have been saying for a while now, and then Bud Crawford had the nerve to come out here and expose his own resume. Let's talk about it, y'all. Canelo Alvarez said, name one elite fighter that Bud Crawford has fought. Bud Crawford sat back in his seat and said, you don't think Ricky Burns and Victor Postol is elite? No. Y'all, when was the last time you seen anything from Ricky Burns or Victor Postol? When have you ever heard anybody in boxing mention them as one of the elite fighters in boxing? When have you ever heard that? When you think your two best fights is Victor Postol and Ricky Burns, you just exposed yourself. You just exposed yourself. And then because you tried to trash Earl Spence and say he's not a Hall of Famer, you couldn't bring his name up because then you knew that you would be contradicting yourself. So also we give this man number one pound for pound for Ricky Burns and Victor Postol. And then I know what everybody gonna say. Well, Dean, he fought Kell Brook. Well, Dean, he fought Sean Porter. He fought Earl Spence. Yeah, and Sean Porter and Earl Spence, that was literally their last fight. So when y'all talk about people waiting people out and all of these things, well, Sean Porter and Earl Spence, their last fight was Terence Crawford. So how much can I put on that? We haven't heard from Earl Spence since Sean Porter got stopped. His dad threw in the towel and he started podcasting. Facts. And then everybody he fought them after Earl Spence fought him, which makes it even worse. Like he fought them after Earl Spence fought him. But when we were saying this for years, then Canelo said now the whole world want to pick it up. Y'all put the man number one pound for fighting Victor Postol and Ricky Burns. I'm sorry, your resume is trash when your best fights are Ricky Burns, Victor Postol, Sean Porter, and Earl Spence. And Earl Spence and Sean Porter, that was their last fight. How much respect am I supposed to put on that? I'm supposed to say that's amazing compared to Ray Leonard, compared to Ray Robinson, to Ali, to all of these other fights. He don't even got a better resume than Lomachenko because y'all like to give people credit for losses. So just saying that they fought the man, you don't got a better resume than Lomachenko. Definitely don't got a better resume than Canelo Alvarez. And to be honest with you, I don't think at this moment he got a better resume than David Benavidez. Y'all don't like that I said that? I don't think he got a better resume than David Benavidez. Sean Porter at the end of his day ropes and Earl Spence at the end of his rope is not the same as David Benavidez beating Boo Boo, David Benavidez beating Caleb Plant in his prime. No, I just don't think that. I'm sorry. Fort David Morrell in his prime. Nah, bro. I just Annie for the golf chick and everything. Nah, bro. I can't co-sign it. I don't think he got one fighter on his resume better than David Morrell. Because it's when David Benavidez fought David Morrell that matters. Earl Spence and Sean Porter at the end, right there, they're not better than David. David Morrell will send both of them to the hospital immediately. People don't like when facts get thrown around. Don't argue with me, Bud fans. He said that was his toughest fights. He said, then people got the nerve to talk about, well, Madrimov. What? So don't get mad at me bringing up David Morrell if you're going to bring up Madrimov, who just got pummeled by Virgil Ortiz. Madrimov lose one more fight, he going to be a journeyman. What are you talking about? Like Madrimov's a Hall of Famer or something all of a sudden. Victor, when was the last time you heard Victor Postol name in boxing? When was the last time you heard somebody mention Ricky Burns? Have you ever heard anybody ever mention Victor Postol and Ricky Burns as all-time great fighters? They're not even more known than Errol Spence and Sean Porter, two fighters he didn't mention. Canelo Alvarez was 100% right. He definitely can't stand up to Canelo Alvarez's resume. I don't care what you think about Canelo. He ain't fought nobody as good as Triple G. And it just go, but then all these Bud fans want to talk about how much he accomplished and all this, that, and the third. And it's like, yeah, it's who you fought to, though, that matters. It's who you fought to, brother. Y'all talk crazy about Gervonta Davis, but Victor Postol and Ricky Burns was never major factors in the sport of boxing for real, for real. Gervonta Davis, the four people that are main topic discussions, literally. Y'all favorite fighters want to fight the people he fought. Earl Spence wasn't worried about Victor Postol and Ricky Burns. I've never heard nobody even call them out or even mention them as some of the best fighters. Like, we got to stop this, man. And that's why Shaq and Tom Brady and Dana White couldn't, nobody, even Bud couldn't answer the question because they couldn't say Canelo was lying. Canelo said, yeah, you a good fighter and all that, but who you haven't fought one elite fighter. And then the one fighter he could have named, he didn't name because he's a hater, brothers. He had to ask Canelo, you think? He was looking for Canelo approval. You think? You don't think Victor Burns? Man, Canelo said, who that? Yo, Canelo is hilarious. He said, you don't think Victor Postol and Ricky Burns? He said, who? He said, who that? Who that? Canelo said he seen a 40-year-old man beat up Victor Postol in the gym, and I don't think Canelo lying about that. So listen here, bro. I just can't get on the train. Do I think Bud's a great fighter? Yes, I do. Do I think he got a trash resume? Yes. Bud has never gave me a fight that I wanted besides the Errol Spence fight. I'll say Sean Porter. I was happy about that fight, but I didn't know Sean Porter was going to go out there and lay down like that, and it wasn't training that hard, and already had felt defeat before. Like, I didn't know all of that prior to the fight. And what makes his resume worse is that he fought everybody after Errol Spence fought them. So then it's like, yeah, I bet you they not the same. After Earl done ran through them, they wasn't the same. We haven't heard from Errol Spence since he's fought Bud. Bud only fights once a year. Y'all, I want y'all to think about this. Bud only fights once a year. Bud would have been fighting twice already by the time we even hear about what Errol Spence is doing. Two things can be true. Bud Crawford could be a great fighter, and he can also be, his resume could be trash. Two things could be true. He could be a great fighter, but his resume is trash. No different than Mike Tyson could be a great fighter, but he lost all of his big fights. Like, it just is what it is, brothers. I'm sorry to break it to you. Canelo ain't tell one lie. Canelo ain't tell one lie. Yes, I think Bud Crawford is an amazing fighter. I think he got the skills to pay the bills. I don't think experience and all of that stuff matter. Like, I'm not saying it doesn't matter, but that's not the determining factor. Bud resume could be trash and still be Canelo. That don't mean nothing. Again, two things can be true. But to act like Bud Crawford has been giving us all these amazing fights throughout his career, he's been giving us amazing performances, not amazing fights. It's a difference. Bud Crawford has been giving us amazing performances, not amazing fights. And that's just the truth of the matter. And then Bud fans be talking about, oh, they tried to freeze them out and all that. But then when you bring that up about what Turkey and all these other fighters are doing to Gervonta, deliberately doing things to make the fight harder, y'all don't understand it then. You understood it when it was Bud Crawford, but when it's Gervonta, you don't understand it. And it just goes to show your hypocrisy and just goes to show how fake you are. You can't sit up there and say that yeah, people tried to freeze Bud out and they was deliberately not trying to fight him. And then you watch all the Gervonta Davis contemporaries do the same exact thing. Don't try to get the fight. Do things to make the fight be harder. Leave the weight class, and then you just turn a blind eye like you don't see that that's happening. But when people was so-called doing that to Terence Crawford, y'all was in an uproar. Y'all already know what this is, man. Dean, by any means. And I holla at y'all.